think they're kind of pointing out the materialism of the young people. Is that where they're going with this? What's up, everybody? It's your man DT Parker here, and I really liked Baepsae. I really loved that song. It was not only a really catchy song, but I loved what it was, the statement that I was making. I love the political and social statement that BTS was making in that song. I thought it was very brave of them, especially during that time. You know, this was a few years ago that they made that statement. And I just really admire that they almost use K-pop and the K-pop sound, the K-pop genre, as the vehicle to really send a message, a strong message to people, and bring awareness of some of the problems that they believe in. And so, yeah, big respect to BTS for that. And so, a lot of you guys said that another real political song that they have is Spine Breaker. I saw a lot of those a lot of those comments I saw, and so I wasn't gonna do this particular song and then explanation today, but you guys put it in the comments so much on my last video. You know, I'm just gonna do it now, but I'm also gonna do the live performance of Baepsae, because you know it's not that long, but I wanted to really enjoy their live performance of that song also, especially now that I know what it means, and just really enjoy the performance now that I don't have to concentrate on the lyrics so much. But then we're going to get into Spine Breaker, where it's just the lyrics, because something this political and important, I need to focus on the lyrics, and then we're going to follow it up with the explanation. Okay, so a lot to unpack here for this reaction video, and also, you know, I be seeing you guys watch this. This is for the few of you who, you know, you watch my videos every day. I know you do. You guys comment on my videos every day, and you won't subscribe. Like, what the F? Like, I know you watch. I see everything. All right, I see it all. I see you guys watching my videos every single day, and yet you won't subscribe. Listen. Just hit the subscribe button, help me out, make me look good. You know, I'm entertained. Are you not entertained? Help me out, subscribe. Let's help each other. Anyway, let's get right into this trilogy video of Baepsae, Spine Breaker, and Spine Breaker explanation. Let's get into it. Am I hallucinating, or are the lyrics different here than on my last lyric video? Am I hallucinating? Let me know in the comment section if these lyrics are different than the one I saw, because I'm seeing things. Whatever. RM, freaking genius. You know what I want to know? Because RM is clearly the driving force behind a lot of these political and social statements that he wants to make. He wants to really weave in his perspective and his message how does what is that process like? Does he say, hey guys, I want to make a song where we really challenge the establishment and bring awareness to this cause? How do you guys feel about that? I'm curious. What is the creative process like, especially with RM, because he seems to be the leader, the driving force behind some of these ideas. It would be cool to see how he approaches the guys with his idea. Like, hey guys, I want to write a really political song. Like, is that cool? Like, do they push back on him? Like, hey man, I don't know if we should do that. Like, I'm curious on what that whole interaction process is like. Anyway, I just had that thought. That thought came into my head. This is better live. My man. That's so dope. It is way easier to just enjoy the song and the performance without having to worry about breaking down the lyrics. It's just a totally different experience. And so I'm glad I'm doing both. Jimin. Not to spoil, but I was gonna do Jimin's serendipity video today before doing this one. So you'll just have to wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna do Jimin's serendipity video reaction, his live performance reaction tomorrow. Sorry to push it back a day, but I had to watch this thing, you know? Don't get mad. Break it down, J-Hope. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now I have to get into this mode.
10짜리 신발에 또 수백짜리 패딩 수십짜리 시계에 또 으스대지 괜히 교육은 산으로 가고 학생도 산으로 가 21세기 계급은 반으로 딱 나눠져 있는 자와 없는 자 쉬는 자와 없는 자 입은 자와 벗는 자 또 길을 써서 얻는 자 이게 뭔 일이니 유행에서는 밀리니 때를 쓰고 애를 써서 얻어내지 찔리지 가득한 패딩 마냥 욕심을 계속 차 켜지는 부모 등골을 봐도 넌 메모 자칫 돈은 다 있다고 졸라대니 안 사줄 수도 없다고 에이요 베이비 철딱선이 없긴 굴지 마라 그가 패딩 안 입는다고 알아 죽진 않아 패딩 안에 그 웨이터를 채우기 전에 머릿속 기념을 채우길 늦기 전에 악마 와우 기분 좋아 걸쳐보는 너의 dirty clothes 넌 뭔가 다른 rock'n'rollin' swagger low Don't deteriorate 미쳤어 baby 그게 너의 맘을 조여버릴 거야 dirty clothes 네가 바로 등골 breaker
Okay.
부모님의 등골 breaker
Think I know what they're saying.
너네 요즘 샤페 불렀지 남의 인생 참견이 총주제 넣지 석빈 항전뿐인 말들은 왜 내 속에 내가 받은 돈 내가 쓰게 하는데 5천만의 취향을 다 니들처럼 마셔 야 만족할 사람들이지 제발 넌 나를 사셔 네 인생 마련 네가 나면 말 안 하겠어 그래 내 팬이 더 먹게 비싸고 더 먹게 안 예뻐 몰랐어 가고 싶은데 어떡해 나보다 못 사는 친구들도 다 같은 늘 났어 되기 싫은 사수밖에 이래도 춤이면 원래 다들 좀 그렇게 Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I'm loco. Is it loco?
Okay.
But they got mochos. 왔는데 할 일은 잘해 부모님 듣고 안 부셔. 진짜 freak거든 날 먹고 아직도 막 웃어. 와우 기분 좋아 걸쳐보는 너의 dirty clothes. 넌 뭔가 다른 rock'n'rollin' swagger low. Don't deteriorate 미쳤어 baby. 그게 너의 맘을 조여버릴 거야 너도 dirty clothes 나도 dirty clothes 누구나 겪어봤겠지 입고 거리로 나가보면 어깨에 힘 빡 들어가고 나보다 작아 보이지 like Oliver 멀리 보도 예해 근데 넌 너무 내가 부른 상태 어체해 후회해 넌 개에서 swag해 하는 부모 맘을 빼지 그래 말리지 않을게 이제 마음을 정해
I think they're kind of pointing out the materialism of the young people. Is that where they're going with this? That, you know, a lot of young people are so eager to keep up with everybody else and their peers that they're willing to spend their parents' money and break their parents' back just to keep up with the styles of today. Is that what they're getting at? Let's find out. It would be hilarious if, like listening to Baepsae, it was basically about how young people are feeling squeezed and they are kind of lashing out at the older generation for giving them this horrible situation that they have to face. And it'd be hilarious if this song is basically knocking the young people, saying, yeah, you complain about having it so rough and things are unfair nowadays, and yet you're going broke trying to keep up with materialistic fashion trends. You young idiots. That would be hilarious if they had those two different perspectives. Oh, I wouldn't surprise me though with these guys. Of course the song is catchy. This is the vehicle they use to spread their message. All right. Break it down. Let's hear it.
Spine breaker. What a strong title name. For new armies or casual listeners that don't look into the lyrics that much, the title might be a little misleading or misunderstood in the way of maybe BTS crushing their haters' spines. I doubt that anybody would actually think like that. But still, without knowing the Korean cultural references behind the story, this song is a little bit hard for foreigners to fully comprehend. But before we go on
Am I
to
a
the
foreigner?
explanation
Would I
itself,
be a
let's give a short shout out to
수십짜리 신발에 또 수백짜리 패딩 수십짜리 시계에 또 으스대지 개닉 교육은 산으로 가고 학생도 산으로 가
extremely expensive shoes, padding jackets, and watches. These are all everyday objects that students use in their daily lives. Education is going up the mountain, students are also going up the mountain. Going up the mountain is a Korean idiom called 사공이 많으면 배가 산으로 간다, which is translated into too many cooks spoil the broth. So basically, BTS is trying to criticize the students alongside with the Korean education system that both parties are going in the wrong direction.
I knew it.
계급은 반으로 딱 나눠져 있는 자와 없는 자 쉬는 자와 없는 자 입은 자와 벗는 자 또 길을 써서 얻는 자
These lines express what school looks like these days in a nutshell. Rich students and poor students can be identified by whether they have expensive clothes or not. For students who cannot afford these expensive clothes, they'll do whatever they can to get their hands on these particular brands or clothes.
Yep.
유행해서는 밀리니 때를 쓰고 애를 써서 얻어내지 챌린지
BTS now tries to touch the conscience of these students about their behavior trying to get expensive apparel, how they're sensitive towards trends and appearance, and how they whined and begged and asked their parents again and again to buy them these expensive clothes.
휴지는 부모 등골을 바라는 메모 자체 돈은 다 있다고 졸라대니 안 사줄 수도 없다고
Finally, the word spinebreaker appears. The phrase spinebreaker comes from the Korean idiom 등골이 휘다, which literally means
Yeah.
your back gets bent because you work so much.
I saw
Usually,
that,
hard
yep.
physical labor is done by bending your back. Thus, if you work too much, your spine would permanently become bent. So, BTS is calling kids who beg their parents to buy them expensive clothes spinebreakers. Not only the kids, but certain items themselves are now officially called spinebreakers because parents need to work so hard to afford these items. So, these so-called spinebreaker kids don't care how hard their parents try to provide them food or necessities, but rather
Little
pester
brats!
their parents by saying, "But all of my friends have it too."
그가 패딩 안 입는다고 알아 주제 나는 패딩 안 해고 웨이터를 채우기 전에 머릿속 개념을 채우게 내기 전에 아마
But why specifically padded jackets? It's because students in Korea wear school uniforms, but in the winter it gets too cold, so the most convenient body warmer would be a padded jacket. A few years ago, the padded jacket market wasn't that diverse,
Damn.
and particular brands were lead brands in the industry, such as the notorious North Face. These padded jackets had and still do have an extremely high price. The average
Yep.
price range would go from $500 to $1,000. They even had ranks in the paddings, depending on how much duck down was inside. But nowadays, it's no longer about particular brands and clothing. The spine breaking has evolved and expanded into products such as smartphones. So obviously, the luxurious clothing was a burden to parents that were not in the position to afford it, but nevertheless their kids demanded them to buy it. So that's why the last lyric says, rather than filling your jacket with duck down, fill your head first with some common sense or conscience
Dope.
before it's too late.
기분 좋아 걸쳐보는 너의 dirty clothes 넘버가 다른 rock and roll is swagger swagger low 도대체 왜 이래 미쳤어 baby 그게 너의 맘을 조여버릴 거야 dirty clothes
The chorus is literally BTS being satirical about the kids that feel good and feel swag in their dirty clothes. It's dirty clothes because they earned it in a dirty way, not by earning the money themselves, but by breaking their parents' backs.
Right,
The
okay.
expression
I
that
missed
the dirty
that.
clothes will tighten up your heart means that eventually the kids will feel guilty and bad about wearing their clothes.
너네 요즘 샵에 불렀지 남의 인생 참견이 총주제 넣지 섭빈 항정꾼이 말들을 왜 계속해 내가 받은 돈 내가 쓰겠다는데
In the second verse, BTS disses the kid haters. 배가 부르다 means that you have it easy and you have no worries of getting food in your mouth. Kids have their bellies full all due to their parents. Thus, they don't know how to do anything but to just feed on provided food.
Damn.
But they're being nosy and saying things that they wouldn't be able to say in front of the actual person, bluffing.
5천만의 취향을 다 니들처럼 맞춰 야 만족할 사람들이 지쳐봐 넌 아직 사셔 네 인생 말여 네가 나면 말 안 하겠어 그래 내 팬이 더 먹게 비싸고 더 먹게 알겠어.
You'll only be satisfied when the whole population of Korea dresses the same as you. This is satire against how kids think wearing the same things look cool. RM then goes on by saying, mind your own business, fashion, and life.
I get what BTS is trying to say, but it's there's two perspectives, right? From the kid's perspective, it is hard being a teenager. I mean, let's face it. I mean, older people don't understand. They don't understand what's the big deal. But when you're a teenager and you're fighting for survival in a sense in that world where everything matters, the way you look, who your friends are, status, your social status, it's everything matters, and people are judging you left and right. And I don't think young people have the foundation, or most of them don't, to be able to withstand that amount of social pressure. And so that's why so many young people are depressed, because they're trying so hard to survive and thrive in that young world. And it's hard, and parents don't get that. They're far removed from that time. They don't understand what's the big deal. But I understand that it's hard being a teenager. It's hard to, no one wants to be ignored or be shunned or be an outcast, and you want to fit in so badly. I remember high school. But at the same time, BTS is making the point. Like, listen, you young people, you're always bitching. You're always complaining about you don't have this and things are unfair and victim. At the same time, you're not taking actions to improve your situation or just to do something about it. It's so much easier to complain and play the victim and do all that stuff than it is to actually do something and work towards something. So yeah, BTS has a great point, but I do sympathize with teenagers. It's tough being a teenager, so I don't see things changing. I understand BTS's point, but you're not going to stop young people from doing whatever they can just to survive being a teenager. It's just too much pressure. But it's a great message BTS is trying to send. Maybe it will make a difference. Maybe it will.
When RM's voice changes into a comical version, he is impersonating and mocking the kids by imitating what they would actually say, such as, "But I want it so much, what should I do? Friends poorer than me even have it.
Right.
If I don't want to be an outcast, I need to buy it.
That's
At
right.
this age, we're all supposed to be like this."
Yeah, yes, I'm loco. Is it loco? I know they ain't cheap, but they got mochos. But 난 내 할 일은 잘해 보면 뜨고 안 부셔. 진짜 날 먹고 아직도 막 웃어.
RM says people might call him crazy or no-no and criticize him for wearing expensive clothes. But he also points out that at least he's attractive, and most of all, he's not a spine breaker that begs for his parents to buy him clothes. The last line is the killing point.
Well, of course
the song.
he's not.
The real spine breaker is you, who's still in the corner of your room at that age. Which means you can't do anything by yourself, so why don't you just shut up and respect your parents by helping them not suffer by paying your stupid padding jacket.
All right. Okay. That was a nice little turning of the tables, right? So, yeah, like I mentioned before, Baepsae was definitely coming from the youth perspective, and it almost seems like Spinebreaker is giving the perspective of the parents or the older generation, if you will. Very, very clever, BTS. I like that. I like that they did both. And they're right on both songs. Very, very clever, BTS. They do have a very, very good point here. Very good point. That was good. That was good. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You know who you are. I'm looking right at you. And until next time, I will see you soon.